Have you ever paused to consider what the universe is truly made of? What if we told you that things are not as continuous as they seem? What if everything around you, from the air you breathe to the distant galaxies, is composed of tiny, indivisible particles? This concept, known as atomic theory, shook the foundations of philosophical thought and forever transformed our understanding of the universe. It was an idea so radical, yet so profound, that it was proposed by none other than an ancient Greek philosopher named Democritus. A thinker so ahead of his time, Democritus envisioned a universe where everything, even the intangible, was composed of these unseen building blocks he called atoms. This idea was a stark departure from the continuous matter concept that prevailed during his time. Now let's delve into the fascinating life of this extraordinary thinker, Democritus. Born around 460 BCE in Abdera, Thrace, Democritus was a philosopher unlike any other. This ancient Greek thinker was not your typical philosopher, and his unique perspective earned him a rather amusing moniker, the Laughing Philosopher. But why a laughing philosopher, you may wonder? Well, Democritus was known for his cheerful disposition and his belief that cheerfulness was the greatest measure of wisdom. He thought that a life filled with joy was a life well lived. His penchant for laughter was so profound that it seeped into his philosophical teachings, making him the quintessential laughing philosopher. The young Democritus was not born into philosophy, though. His father was a wealthy citizen of Abdera, and he used his wealth to ensure that Democritus received the best education possible. However, the young philosopher's thirst for knowledge was not easily quenched. He spent his inheritance traveling to far-off lands such as Egypt, Persia, and India. He sought out the wisdom of scholars, mathematicians, and priests in these distant cultures, eager to learn and expand his horizons. These travels were more than just an adventure for him. They were an integral part of his intellectual pursuits. His exposure to different ways of thinking greatly influenced his own philosophical outlook. He absorbed ideas like a sponge, integrating them into his burgeoning views on the world and the universe. From the corners of Egypt to the depths of India, Democritus was a philosopher on a mission. He was determined to understand the world, not just from the perspective of his own culture, but from the viewpoints of many. This thirst for knowledge, this drive to learn, shaped him into the philosopher we remember today. His travels were just the start of a journey that would see him challenge the prevailing philosophical ideas of his time and propose theories that were nothing short of revolutionary. But that's a tale for another scene. Democritus's thirst for knowledge knew no bounds, and his travels only marked the beginning of his intellectual journey. Democritus's intellectual pursuits led him to propose an idea that was radical for his time, the atomic theory. This theory, in essence, was a grand leap of thought, an attempt to explain the very fabric of the universe itself. Democritus believed that the universe was composed of atoms, tiny indivisible particles that were eternal and unchangeable. These atoms were the building blocks of everything that exists, from the air we breathe to the thoughts we think. They were, according to Democritus, infinitely varied in shape and size. Imagine a vast sea of atoms, each one unique, swirling and colliding in the infinite expanse of the universe. Now consider that these atoms, in their countless combinations and permutations, give rise to all the diversity we observe in the world around us. The sweetness of a ripe apple, the hardness of a diamond, the warmth of a summer's day. All these properties, Democritus argued, were simply the result of different arrangements of atoms. This concept was not merely a dry, abstract idea. It was a revolution in thought, a bold challenge to the prevailing wisdom of his day. In contrast to the philosophers of his time who focused on the idea of continuous matter, Democritus proposed a universe of discrete, indivisible particles. He dared to imagine a world that was not seamless, but granular, composed of countless tiny pieces. But Democritus didn't stop there. His atomic theory was underpinned by a deterministic worldview. He asserted that everything in the universe unfolded according to natural laws, that there was no room for chance in the grand scheme of things. Every event, every occurrence, was the result of atoms interacting according to these laws. This perspective was a stark departure from the belief in randomness or divine intervention. It laid the groundwork for mechanistic theories, setting the stage for the scientific revolution that was to come. Democritus's ideas, however, were met with skepticism and opposition. His contemporaries like Plato and Aristotle held different philosophical perspectives. They challenged his atomic theory, dismissed his deterministic worldview. But Democritus was undeterred. He held firmly to his convictions, standing his ground in the face of opposition. He understood that his ideas were radical, that they disrupted the status quo, but he also knew that they offered a new lens through which to view the world, a lens that promised to unlock the mysteries of the universe. Democritus was not just a philosopher. He was a visionary, a trailblazer, a maverick who dared to think differently. His ideas faced skepticism and opposition, yet Democritus stuck firmly to his convictions. He was a man who dared to challenge the prevailing wisdom of his day, a man who dared to dream of a universe composed of tiny, indivisible particles. And in doing so, he laid the groundwork for our modern understanding of the world. Democritus's works may not have survived the test of time, but his influence certainly has. His theories, once considered radical and revolutionary, have echoed through the centuries, leaving an indelible mark on the canvas of human thought. The seeds sown by Democritus in the fertile ground of philosophy and science have sprouted into towering trees of knowledge. The idea of atoms, the indivisible particles that Democritus proposed, found a new resonance in the era of the scientific revolution. Thinkers and scientists, guided by the thirst for understanding the intricacies of the universe, revisited his atomic theory with a fresh perspective. The result? A groundbreaking paradigm shift that led to the birth of modern atomic and molecular theories. This is a testament to the enduring power of an idea. The concept of atoms, once a mere hypothesis born out of a philosopher's mind, has now become a cornerstone of our understanding of matter and the structure of the universe. It's fascinating to think how Democritus's ideas, conceived over 2 millennia ago, continue to shape our reality. But Democritus's influence is not confined to the realm of physical sciences alone. His deterministic worldview, the assertion that everything in the universe unfolds according to natural laws, has profoundly influenced philosophical thinking throughout the ages. It has given rise to mechanistic theories and inspired countless debates on free will and determinism. Democritus's legacy is not merely a collection of theories or ideas. It is an enduring testament to the power of human curiosity, intellectual rigor, and the relentless pursuit of truth. His life and work embody the spirit of inquiry that drives all scientific and philosophical endeavors. Despite the controversies, Democritus's legacy continues to shape our understanding of the universe. His ideas, once considered radical, have now become integral to our worldview. Democritus, the philosopher who dared to think differently, has truly left a legacy that transcends time. Democritus, an ancient Greek philosopher, has left an indelible mark on the annals of philosophy and science. His bold assertions about the nature of the universe, grounded in his atomic theory and deterministic worldview, have echoed down the corridors of time, influencing and inspiring thinkers across centuries. Democritus dared to envision the universe as a vast dance of atoms, invisible and indivisible particles that combine and recombine in an endless array of configurations. This radical perspective was a departure from the dominant philosophies of his time, which favored the concept of a continuous and unbroken reality. But Democritus, ever the contrarian, saw the world in terms of discrete particles, setting the stage for the later development of atomic and molecular theories. Beyond the realm of physical matter, Democritus also championed the notion of determinism. He posited that everything in the universe unfolds according to natural laws, with no room for chance or randomness. This deterministic outlook, while controversial in his time, has profoundly shaped philosophical and scientific thought, laying the groundwork for the mechanistic theories that underpin much of modern science. Despite facing opposition and skepticism from his contemporaries, Democritus remained steadfast in his convictions. His ideas were often met with resistance, particularly from the likes of Plato and Aristotle, who held contrasting philosophical perspectives. Yet, the seeds of thought that Democritus planted continued to germinate, their influence reaching far beyond the confines of ancient Greece. Today, we can still see the ripples of Democritus's impact in our ongoing quest to understand the universe. His atomic theory and deterministic worldview have become fundamental principles in the fields of philosophy and science, helping us to decipher the intricate patterns of the cosmos and the complex workings of the natural world. Indeed, Democritus's legacy is a testament to the power of intellectual curiosity and critical thought. His contributions have not only shaped our understanding of the universe, but have also served as a beacon of inspiration, driving us to push the boundaries of knowledge. In the grand tapestry of knowledge, Democritus has woven a thread that continues to inspire us as we explore the mysteries of the universe.